Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. So, on the first Tuesday of the week, did you do the crossword?
The first Tuesday of the week?
Yes, I believe that's always true. It's always the first Tuesday of the week.
I believe it is. So.
Except for tomorrow when it'll be the first Wednesday of the week.
Right.
I pride myself on that phrase, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's trademarked, you know.
Oh,
yep.
No, I didn't know that.
Yep, no one else wanted it, so it was easy to get.
Gee, I wonder why. Yes, I did do the crossword.
I'm not even sure if I asked, but it's good to know that you did.
Yes, you did ask.
What did you think?
Well, it was a good crossword. It was a typical Tuesday, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It had a nice little theme, and there were some pretty standard answers, but then there were a few in there that were a little different, a little unique.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was good. I solved it in a pretty good time, not breaking any records, but didn't take me too long.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I didn't have too much trouble with it. I had one typo. Let's see, for 46 down was the 2016 subject that dominated UK newspapers. And, of course, the answer was Brexit.
Yes.
But because of a typo, and it definitely was a typo, I had Brexit for a while, which I believe was when Portugal was trying to leave the European Union.
Oh, okay. But
because somehow 46 across weight to height ratio in brief, BMI, became PMI.
Which stands for?
Body mass index. You know, I found it interesting that they defined it as the weight to height ratio. I think it's actually the weight over height squared.
I don't know how they.
Yeah, I did extensive research on the subject. That is to say, I looked it up in Wikipedia.
Very good.
So, but yeah, the only thing about this crossword was it didn't seem to have a lot of joy in it. I mean,
it was kind of intense.
It was the clues were great, the answers were great, but you know there just weren't a lot of sort of funny clues there. Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe the closest to fun was 33 across was verklempt, plotzt.
Yes,
that was sort of amusing.
I didn't even know what those two words meant. I had to look them up.
Uh-huh.
And they do mean about the same thing, although plotzt is more negative. You know, it's like filled with emotion, right? But plotzt is more filled with like anger or dismay or sort of.
You mean as opposed to verklempt?
Hmm?
I mean, I thought the two were basically plotzt and verklempt are the same thing.
Well, I thought verklempt, what the definition I looked at, it was like verklempt was just like filled with emotion, whereas plotzt was like experiencing anger, frustration, intensity, intense emotion. It didn't sound as positive. But
I always had the impression that when plotzt meant you just sort of collapsed in agony for some reason or other. But yeah, well, and that Dane was that crossed with feeling in an emergency. 33 down was panic. Yes. I'm not sure if that counts as amusing.
No, not really. No.
But
yeah, go ahead.
It was a good crossword, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It had an interesting theme. It took me a little bit to figure out what the theme was actually. Drawing it all together, but it made sense in the end. So you had to look at the revealer clue, which was right in the middle, 38 across. You predicted that correctly, or what the ends of the theme clues will yield, and the answer to that was good call. And the themed answers were karaoke bars, streaming service, wedding reception, and mixed signal. And I'm like, huh? But then I realized if you make a call on your cell phone and it's a good call, you'll have bars, you'll have service, you'll have reception, and a good signal. So So yeah, then it made sense. But I'm like, call bars, call service. I didn't quite get the connection.
Mm-hmm.
It eventually came to me.
Okay, well, good.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I noticed that the crossword started off with one across, info acquired by scouts was intel.
Intel.
And the first thing is I started thinking about like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. And I was trying to think, what sort of information did they acquire? Like which way the wind's blowing or something?
They acquire all kinds of information. Mm-hmm. That's how they get their merit badges.
Right. Mm-hmm. But this was intel as in intelligence.
Spy stuff.
Which I think we just had yesterday.
We did, because I put in recon, as I recall.
Right.
And then, and I tried that again today.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you're consistent.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know the one underneath it's 15 across, steak blank, dish flambéed, tableside, and that was Diane.
Steak Diane, yes.
I presume there was some cook named Diane for whom this is named?
I don't know how that was named. I really don't. But yes, I have heard of that. Mm-hmm. So I thought the 6 across was one new one to me, blue-footed seabird, booby.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there is a bird called a booby.
Right.
I didn't realize that it was blue-footed or it was by the sea.
Yeah, it was a 5-letter bird, so I went for egret.
Oh, I did too.
And I egret that I did, because it was wrong, but...
Yeah. Well, it seemed like we had egret not too long ago, but anyway, this was booby.
We had 8 down, model train track standard was O gauge.
Yes.
I thought N gauge at first, but nope, it was O gauge.
And isn't there HO gauge?
There is HO gauge, yes.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And let's see, 13 down, I had no idea who this was. George, who wrote Life, a User's Manual, Perec.
Yes, I did not know that either.
I probably need to find that user's manual. I wonder if there's a reboot switch.
I think it's probably too late for me.
Life, a user's manual. I don't know. It's a great name.
Yes, definitely.
Let's see. We had 28 across was word after swimming or dating. The first thing I thought was app, like a dating app. And then I was trying to figure out what a swimming app would be about.
Yeah.
And then, since the actual answer required 4 letters, I backed off of app and went for the correct answer, which was pool.
Very good.
Swimming pool or dating pool.
All right. I noticed the New York Times made it in at 37 across. WSJ competitor, NYT.
Yes, self-promotion, really. I mean, it's self-product placement. There's just something wrong with that. And then we had 30 across. The Altar constellation was Era. There is the least known constellation, Era.
Yes, I didn't know it.
No one's known. The person who named it forgot where it was. I
thought, maybe that's in the southern hemisphere or something, because I've never heard of that.
Well, I don't know the Altar constellation either, so I presume that it's fairly close to the I Do constellation and the Hoopa constellation. I'm not sure.
Could be.
And 10 down sort of summarized my thought about the crossword. I'm totally serious. And the answer was yes, really.
Yes. Yes, really.
Yes, yes, really.
Mm-hmm.
We had 34. 34 down was sort of cute. Repeated instance jokily was zillionth.
Zillionth, yes.
That was sort of a fun word.
Uh-huh.
And I thought we had, 36 down was, once I find it here, speed blank, fast driver was speed demon. Didn't we just have something about demon being like
Damon.
Damon? It was sort of like a lesser Greek
god.
deity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So.
Mm-hmm. 48 down was blank and ruin, and it was rack and ruin. And
Mm-hmm.
I've said that, but I've never actually seen it in print.
Right.
I didn't know rack was spelled with a W.
Mm-hmm.
W-R-A-C-K.
Rack and ruin. Sort of like rock and roll or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, we had 50 down, Florentine poet who wrote the Divine Comedy, Dante. Dante keeps showing up.
Yep.
He's making a comeback.
That's right. Or not.
Or not. Okay, I think that's it for the crossword.
Okay.
But it is Tuesday.
That it is.
Which means, as we already mentioned, which means it is time for Triplet Tuesday. And for new listeners, Triplet Tuesday is that segment where one of us reads 3 clues to the other. The answer to all 3 of those clues is one 3-letter answer, and the object is to guess that answer in as few clues as possible. We do it 3 times, hence the name Triplet Tuesday.
Yep.
I will be reading the clues today.
That's good, because I don't have any for you.
Okay. Listeners are invited to play along. Hit the pause button after I've read the clue and see if you can get to the answer before Jean does. Ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Pendant.
Pendant?
Yep.
Pendant.
Pendant.
Fob.
No. What buoys do.
What buoys do?
What buoys do.
Oh, Bob.
Correct. Your third clue, had you needed it, would have been TV's Newhart.
Oh, I would have got that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
Thank you.
So apparently Bob Pendant is some line of pendants.
Or something. I was thinking like Bob. Sometimes a pendant would be called a bauble. But
well, I mean, I actually found, here's the Bob Pendant collection.
oh, no, I don't think that's what they were.
It was the first hit. Well, if that's not the case, then I salute the creator of Bob Pendant for having such great search engine optimization.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Well done. You're 1 for 1. Here are your next set of clues. Listeners, get ready to hit the pause button again. Box social action.
Box social action.
Correct.
Box social action. I can't think of any 3-letter box social action. Bid.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm impressed. I didn't even know what a box social action was.
Yeah.
What's a box social?
Well, the only reason I know this is because a few years back I was in the musical Oklahoma when I was in high school, and there is a scene in there where they have a box social, and that's where all the girls would make up a basket or a box with food, and then all the boys would bid on them.
I can't believe that I picked the one clue that you were like an expert on.
Yes, I knew all about box socials.
Okay.
From that experience of being in that.
Wow. All right. Well, your second clue, not that you needed it, was a club, e.g.
Okay.
Maybe I should have led with a club. I just assumed that no one would know what a box social was.
Oh, no, I did.
I have to remember, if I don't know something, that doesn't mean that everybody else doesn't know it. I always lose that. And then auction action was the third.
Yeah.
Okay. Third set of clues. You're doing great. 2 for 2 so far.
Okay.
Excuse.
Excuse. Is it excuse or excuse?
Excuse.
Excuse. What would an excuse be? Lie. I
Nope.
can't think of anything.
No longer an option.
No longer an option. Out.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And your third one would have been unconscious.
Out.
Yes.
Out.
Wow.
Those are good. Those were good clues.
Well, I feel they were a little on the easy side.
Just depends on what you know.
I forget that I'm posing clues to a super genius.
No.
All right. Well done.
Well, thank you.
3 for 3.
Thank you very much.
Take a bow.
Thank you.
Okay. That is it then for today.
Okay.
So thanks everyone for listening. Listeners, feel free to get a hold of us. Feedback is always appreciated. Crosswordpodcast at iCloud.com or click on the send fan mail link. We will be back with our cutting edge analysis of Wednesday's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.